Hello my friends, and welcome back to another Pilates class. This is going to be part of my Restorative Pilates series where we take a look at our Pilates principles, including balancing our life, balancing our hormones, balancing our nervous system, which will balance our hormones, and all of that will lead to a more balanced life. It will make it easier to lose those stubborn pounds during hormone changes and increase your mood and your energy, and everything is going to feel better. So with that, one more thing I'm going to mention is the dogs are out and about, and as I've mentioned in other classes, sometimes life happens, and don't let that stop you from getting on the mat. So join me now. We're going to be using just our mat, and I'm using a foam roller, and basically we're just leading off or starting off where we left off in our last restorative class. So let's get onto the mat. We're gonna spend a little more time right now on our hips, rolling out our hips and glutes. So join me as we take our roller and go the width of our mat. And as I mentioned, the dogs will probably be joining us because whenever they have an opportunity to join me on the mat, they do. So just get into it. So bringing your forearm down, we want our shoulder and our elbow aligned. You've got the meaty part of your hip into your roller. Find some of those tender spots, and we're gonna start by rolling back and forth. I do have a timer set, so I'd like to try to keep these classes to about 30 minutes or so that you have no excuses to join me, and getting us prepared for some of our live events where we will be holding restorative classes in Northern California. Okay. So moving around and just finding where it feels tender. If you find a spot that's like really sensitive, I want you to pause there and take 3 deep breaths. And with each exhale, can we relax a little bit into it? We've got our forearm, we've got our other foot planted onto the mat, and that can kind of gauge how much pressure is going into your roller. Once you release some of that tension, release the bottom leg, it drops a little heavier. And as I mentioned, about 3 breaths if you're feeling that really tender area. So now that we've kind of gone back and forth, join me in going up and down. Again, we want to stay on the fleshy, meaty part of the hip and the glute, and not really on the bony part of the ASIS hip bone area. Okay, so here we go. We're going to continue now by going all the way up towards the knee. Use your hands, use your leg to guide you. Go all the way there. I'm a little bit forward, if you can see, and then I'm going to go down. And it really hurts. So I'm going to do this 3 times, and again, you can manage how much pressure you're applying onto that roller by the use of your hands and your foot on the mat. This is number 3. We want our muscles to be supple and soft, not really hard. That will make them work for us better. Okay, coming back down. I'm going to take a moment to throw that outside and come to the other side. So let's take our roller onto the other side. Again, we're finding that meaty part of the hip. Get into it. Forearm down, front foot crosses over the bottom foot. And let's start by going back and forth. I hope this is feeling good for you. Sometimes you have these rollers that are about half the size. That's fine too if that's what you have, but I prefer the larger rollers. And then we're gonna go up and down just a little bit still. Oh, hello, I love you too, I love you too. Yes, I make out with my dog. Oh, I love you too, I know. Okay, go. Oh, this will be hard to get him to stop. All right. Got that? Okay, find that real tender spot wherever that is. Wherever that is, we're gonna take 3 deep breaths. With each exhale, relax the bottom leg a little more, relax into the roller, relax your weight into the roller. And then we're gonna go 3 times.